There's been quite a few changes to the apC series presets since the previous video, so I just want to cover a couple of those real quick. First of all, we're looking at the navigation mode from the apC CL1 preset, and there's a lot of additional controls here now. First of all, in the previous video there was a button up here for recording clips that's been moved to Shift plus Record so that it's available from any mode. Alright, there's also some additional browser controls. Over here you can toggle between live browsers, and there's also a load clip button over here. To show you how that works, let me just select some clips. Alright, and then I could just load them onto the selected track, which is track 1 in this case, just by pressing that button. To do the multi-selection there, I use the Shift button here. Alright, that's another new feature. You have Shift, Control, the Windows key or Command, depending on which operating system you're on, and then Alt. Alright, and you can use those for modifying the function of the arrow keys or even your mouse. And lastly, we have this row of buttons here, which is assignable to Live's menu functions. You can assign up to 16 functions because each button has a default and a shifted function. Alright, and the way you do the assigning is different depending on which operating system you're using. On OS X, you use a utility that's built into the operating system that allows you to assign custom shortcuts to menu items. On Windows, we provide something called apC Shell, which allows you to do basically the same thing. It allows you to assign the user buttons here to different menu functions in Live. The last thing I want to mention is that with all the presets in this series, you receive two versions. A default version where the volume controls work like normal. They control the full range of the faders in Live. And then you have a 0 dB version. And in that version, the faders max out at 0 dB. This preset is basically an expansion of apC CL1, so it includes everything that preset has. You still have default mode, navigation mode, drum rack mode, and user mode. And then it adds 3 additional modes. The first of those is scale mode, and in this mode you have access to 40 scale types. By default, you'll have a chromatic scale assigned. Alright, you can change that by hitting this button here, and you have 40 scale types to choose from. So you could select a scale and then preview it with this button here. Alright, and when you've found the one you want, just exit out of this mode, and now it'll be assigned. Alright, right now this is playing in C. To switch to a different root note, just press Shift, and now you have a 1-octave keyboard where you can set the root note. So you can see it's set to C. I can set it to like F. Alright, you can move between octaves with these buttons. Alright, and these buttons over here set the velocity just like in drum rack mode. These buttons down here momentarily bend the pitch up or down. Alright, and this button does the same thing for the mod wheel, but that doesn't have too much of an effect on this patch. Alright, and lastly down here you have a sustain button. This mode gives you access to scale tone chords. You can play the chords with the bottom 7 buttons here. Alright, right now those are in a major scale. You could switch to minor. Alright, and right now the chords are all playing in root position. You could switch that in a couple different ways. These buttons here directly select inversion, so right now we're in root position. You can switch to first inversion or second inversion. And you can also cycle between inversions with this button here. Alright, now right now the chords are all playing triads, just 3 notes. You can add a power chord underneath to get a fuller sound. Alright. Now with the top buttons, you can play 1 octave of the scale. Alright, now right now that's 1 octave above the chords. You can make it 1 octave beneath the chords. The other controls in this mode are the same as they were in scale mode. So all the controls over here on the left side are the same, the velocity controls are the same, and you set the root note in the same way. As I was just showing you, you can use this mode to play one instrument. You can also use it to play multiple instruments because each note in the chord sends out on a different MIDI channel. So you can set up instruments to each receive from a different MIDI channel and then play them simultaneously like this. Alright, so those are 5-note chords, and each note in the chord is being played by a different instrument. And the scale also sends out on a different MIDI channel, so that can control a different instrument. So in total you can control 6 instruments at the same time. In this mode, you can learn chords to the apC's buttons by playing them from a second controller. The way that works is you press Shift plus the top button in the column to enter learn mode. The clip stop button will flash to indicate that, and then just play a chord from your second controller. Alright, notice as you're playing the chord, the buttons in the strip light up to indicate how many notes have been received. So when you're done learning, just press the clip stop button, and now you can trigger the chord here and the notes up here. Alright, so let me just learn another chord to show you how that works again.